Hello and welcome back to this tutorial. In our previous video, we learned how to use the Pandas series, and we also learned how to use the built-in method to inspect the Pandas series. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be working with Pandas data frame. So I am going to clear this and I'm going to move down a bit. So what is a data frame? Well, a data frame is a two-dimensional object. And like we saw in our first video, we saw how to use the one-dimensional object, which is the series. So now, what is a two-dimensional object? I believe we already saw in our past video how to work with Python dictionaries. So a dictionary is basically a two-dimensional object. But when you want to work with a dictionary for data analysis, you have to convert it as a data frame, because what you are going to be doing is that your keys are going to be like the header of the table. So, and like you already saw in our first video, what these pandas do for us is that it basically converts our data into a table. So the one we just had two columns, and one was for the index and the other one was for the data. So now, this time around, we are going to be working with a data that is going to have multiple rows, and we can use a dictionary to achieve that. And by the time your dictionary is converted to a data frame, your object now becomes a table with multiple rows and columns. So now I am going to create a dictionary, and this time around, while creating the dictionary, the values we could set them to a list. Okay, so I am going to create a dictionary. So, and I'll call it data, and I'll set it to, well, a dictionary that has key value pairs. So I would want to use a biodata information like we have been doing before. So I can say that I want name. So this name is going to have a list as the value. All right. So now I could say that the first person in my list is myself, so Perpetua, and I have Joy, and I have Peter. Now I'm going to duplicate this so that we have multiple of this. Okay, and I'm going to separate each line with comma. So this with comma, and the next line again, I am going to paste. So I'm going to paste the fourth line so that we just have four columns. So this column we have the age. So this time around, I'm going to pass in numbers. So the first column is going to have 20, and the second column is going to have probably 15, and I'm just going to pass in random values for the three columns, for the three rows. And the other one, I'm going to have gender. So I'm going to pass in female, and the other one, I'm going to pass in male. And again, okay, the second one, I'm going to pass in female, and the last one, I'm going to pass in male. So I'm going to change the column name to gender, and this one, I'm going to pass maybe something like state or country. So I'm going to say country. So I am from Nigeria, and the next person is going to be from Ghana, and the next person is going to be from Kenya. So right now we have the data that we want to pass in into our data frame. So how do we now create the data frame? So we can create the data frame by setting it to a variable. We can call it df, or we can call it anything, but the convention, so but for simplicity, we're just going to call it df. So we are going to call the panda.dataframe class, and we are going to pass in this data. Okay, so, and this is simply going to convert this to a data frame. So now we can print it, df, and we will see that we have a neatly formatted table for us. So we also have a lot of print statements. I forgot to comment that out, so I'm simply going to comment all of this out so that we have a clear output. So you can see now that we have a neatly formatted table that has the header of name, age, gender, and country, and then we have the respective values for all the columns. Okay, so we can also set a custom index for this, and we know that we have 3 rows. All right, so for each column we have 3 rows. So I am going to set a custom index, and I'm going to set it to A, B, C, and C. So now Python is complaining because we forgot to enclose this in a bracket. So now if we run this again, we have our custom index set for us. So this is how to create your data frame for your data analysis with pandas. So now we have successfully used this dictionary object to create a data frame, and in our next video we are going to learn how to use actual files like a CSV file or an Excel file to work with pandas. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.